Hey guys, it's B. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do my bag collection and I'm standing up and they're all here on the bed. So we might have to pause partway through for me to reorganize because I can't actually reach them all. But I thought this was a good time to share because I have worked on my collection. I've got rid of things that I don't really use. Everything that I have that I'm looking at now, apart from a couple of kind of disposable fashion type things, everything else I think will be here for a long time, and I just wanted to share because lots of people have asked me and I've put people off for probably over a year. Sometimes I get uncomfortable about talking about luxury goods, and I've tried to take my social media sometimes in a different direction because A, that's a natural thing, and B, we all can get a lot of hate and stuff when we talk about our expensive things, or we can appear to be kind of insensitive when there are more important things going on. But I do really love my special things, and I know that you guys that follow me on Instagram or watch me on YouTube enjoy, so I'm here to do what you enjoy. And as I said, it's the right time because I feel that my collection is at a point where it's not really going to change much. So I'm going to do it by brand, so I don't forget anything. I've got all of my Louis Vuitton items here, and then Chanel, and then I have a couple of brands, 3 brands where I have 2 bags. So that's YSL or Saint Laurent, Gucci and Mulberry. I have 1 Balenciaga, and that's it for high-end brands. I haven't got anything from some brands that I like, and then the rest are kind of a couple of mid-price things. Oh, there's one missing. I've just noticed one. Where is that? And then I just thought I would keep it really brief. There's a lot of items here, so I'm not going to really do a review or show how long straps are. Most of these things are things that you can find a lot of information about on YouTube, so you kind of don't need a mini review from me. If you see anything here that you want more information, you want me to elaborate, just leave a comment down below and I will either do a video on that item or I will brain freeze, or I will just answer you if you have a query. Okay, so I don't even know if I'm really looking at you because I don't normally stand up and be this far from the camera, and I'm meant to be looking right here, but I think I'm looking everywhere else, so I'm doing my best. Okay, let's start with Louis Vuitton, and I think it's logical to go from the largest pieces down to the smallest pieces. That's how I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so my largest Louis Vuitton bag is this Neverfull GM in the Azure print. I used this a lot in the summer months, and it was quite late in the summer that I actually rocked this bag. I kind of didn't really touch it till the beginning of August, and then I used it quite a few times. It is really big, but I have a bigger frame, quite big shoulders and arms, so I actually find as a shoulder bag the GM way more comfortable than the MM. The MM, I'll show you in a minute, I tend to carry it differently, and I kind of wish I've gone back and forth with the MM and the GM thing, and I like both sizes, but I would really like to get a Damier Ebene GM because, again, I don't really use this in the colder months, but I love this, and it's not as delicate as people think. The canvas, yeah, you can get denim transfer and things on it, but I've always found that if you regularly give these a wipe over with alcohol-free baby wipes, you can keep the canvas in really good condition. And if you have a recent one, I think it's like 2 or 3 years now, they put the price of the Neverfulls up, but you do get a flat kind of pouch, and I don't really I'd rather they were at the cheaper price point and didn't have the pouch because they're so flat and they're only useful for things like paperwork, but they are nice when you're traveling, and I have used this for traveling. Okay, and I also have the Neverfull in the MM size. This looks a lot neater. It keeps that flower pot shape and doesn't kind of slouch as much as the GM. Just for comparison, quite a bit deeper, just quite a lot larger, but this is quite nice because it looks a little bit more like a handbag. It's a little bit more neat and elegant. I think that the white really suits the floppy, relaxed, kind of beachy look, and I think this really suits the more structured look. I have had the GM, I have had an MM, then I swapped it with a friend for the GM, and then it got quite worn out because I used it a lot as a kind of weekender bag, and I ended up buying this one. But I do really miss having the GM, and I may add it in the long-term future, not right now. As I said, I'm done with buying high-end bags for like a year because I've bought quite a lot in the last couple of years. But yeah, I really like this. I kind of wish for this one I had the baby pink interior sometimes, because I just love that. But this is the classic red, and again it comes with the pouch, and it's just a great everyday bag if you need to carry a little bit more. As I said, the strap drop is the same on the GM and the MM, but because the bag ends shorter, I feel like it sort of sticks out like that. But without a coat, I can wear it fine. But with a coat, I find the strap drop a little bit short. My favourite Louis Vuitton tote is this one. And this is my Totally MM. This is a discontinued style. A lot of people recommended this to me when I was looking for a baby bag. And I actually already had it and said to people, I have that bag. I got this before I was even pregnant with Cece, almost as a sort of power of intention thing. I bought it and I decided that I wouldn't use it until I was having a baby, and so I didn't use it for months, and then I fell pregnant with Cece and I had the bag ready to use, and I found this really the best kind of tote that Louis Vuitton does. It's got a zip, the straps are really comfortable and long enough, it's got these big outside pockets. I don't know why they discontinued it. A lot of people criticize this. Whenever I've done videos or anything mentioning this bag, a lot of people have said it's mumsy or frumpy, but now a lot of the kind of slightly vintage looking monogram bags people are rocking again, and I just love this and I would never part with it. It's so soft and smushy, and it's my favorite of the three by a long way, and I wear this loads. So some slightly smaller bags. I love the Never Full silhouette, but my favorite design from Louis Vuitton is the Speedy. So originally I had my first ever Speedy was a Azure Speedy, but it was the classic without the bandolier, and that didn't really work for me, even though I thought it looked beautiful. I really like a strap with a bag that's got top handles for flexibility. And then I got the Speedy B30 in Damier Ebene, which I've recently sold, and I absolutely love that bag. But I think what's happened is that as I'm sort of slowing down buying and want my collection to be really versatile, I realised that the Neverfull MM and the Speedy are actually really similar in size, and I felt like the Speedy 30 was good as a handbag but not great crossbody. So anyway, I've also had a leather Speedy in the past. I think last summer or the summer before I bought this one, and I got on with it a lot more than I thought I would. It was kind of a bit of a gamble. I wanted a summery bag that wasn't really light in colour but was nice and summery with the lighter leather, and was an everyday versatile bag, and I really love the 25. I know a lot of people say that the opening is too narrow, but I don't feel like that. I feel like you just get used to it. There's a cushion in there at the moment, but I feel like I don't really pack a Speedy 25 or this sort of size bag up to the top. I think then you would have to rummage. I like any bag that I've got, unless it's a tiny bag, to have loads of spare space, so that you open the bag, you can see your SLGs, but there's loads of space to move your hand around in the bag. And yeah, I absolutely love this size. Listen, I'm a bigger girl, but I've really let go of this thing about having to have the bigger silhouettes of bags because it makes you look smaller or whatever. I actually go for what item, size and colour I find the most attractive, and I don't worry about, you know, like some people wouldn't wear a mini if they're a bigger girl, and I just think it's just rubbish. Just go with what you enjoy and don't worry so much about what people think or what you think you look bigger or whatever. Just go for what you enjoy, and I just prefer and feel like the 25 is cute. So that's my 25. And then just last week I finally, as I said, I let go of the 30 because, and you know, in the past I would have just kept the 30, used that as a kind of throw around or a gym bag, and then added the 25. But I'm trying to be slightly more minimal, so I let go of the 30 and I replaced it with a 25, and it's just more, I just enjoy it more. I don't, the 30 is just so big, it's such a chunky bag this way, that I just felt like as a handbag I prefer this kind of size. You'll see this a lot with my hand carry bags, that they tend to be this kind of size. Note, I didn't know this, but the new Damier Ebene trim is all matte, which I think is really chic. And obviously the newer style Speedies have the puffy chaps. The pocket on the inside has the zip and I just love the look of a Speedy. I love the look of a classic Speedy. I wouldn't, even though I love the leaves on the zippers and everything, I wouldn't get a classic Speedy. I like the versatility of having the strap that you can use shoulder or crossbody. Now I'm taking too long on each thing, so I'm gonna have to speed up. The legendary Pochette Métis with its monogram strap. I love this bag. I don't find it particularly carefree. I feel like it takes quite a lot of maintenance. I've had to have this whole lock replaced and I had to pay for it because it was out of warranty, but I really felt like it wasn't my fault. Like, it just kept opening by itself. And I don't have any cracking on the glazing yet, but I don't wear this heavily because I think it's really beautiful. And I partly got the Speedy in the similar size in the monogram to take the wear off of this because I was wearing it a couple of times a week and I just felt like I didn't want it to look tired. It's so hard to find if I want to replace it. I love the strap. The strap's now got a nice patina from me leaving it out on chairs and things, but when I first got it I used to use a twilly all the time to protect it. It's just a real classic. I love it and I like it the best in the classic monogram. Okay, and then I just have these 3 pochettes that I really adore. I use these as bags. They don't really do these anymore. Occasionally you see the monogram one in stock. So this is the old style and you'll see that it's slightly smaller and not as wide, and the base is not as sturdy. It doesn't really stand up like these stand up like a bag. And also the original strap that it came with was tiny, but a lovely friend of mine from the States got hold of a new strap. So this now works like a little, like the Fendi baguette, like a little shoulder bag. It's really versatile like that. It's just a single, well, the old style is just a single kind of pouch. The newer style has a little slip pocket inside and you get about 1/2 inch more in length. Little pocket there. And what I really enjoy with these is, like this one I've been using, this is my current bag. This strap you can still buy from Louis Vuitton. I think it's it was the same strap that was on the Eva clutch and things like that. And it's the perfect length for me. This one, a dear friend sold it to me because she didn't use it anymore. And it just makes the perfect crossbody bag. And I have the same strap in the Aspinal to use on the Aspinal one. I think I would get this in the new style because this one is really old now. One thing I'd say about Louis Vuitton is the monogram canvas. I feel the actual canvas wears much better than the 2 sort of checkered prints, and that's because there's not printing all over it. The only printing is this design. So when you get like the corners and it's just the monogram, I feel like it's tougher. I've noticed on my Neverfulls, my Speedies, and on this one, because the whole bag has a printing on it, you know, every bit of these squares has got a little tiny pattern on it. When that rubs away, you get like a bit of blackness showing on the trim. And if you continue to wear the item heavily, eventually you might even see the red. So this one's okay. It just is fine for like casual, but as like a clutch, or like I've got a gold chain that I use with these, I would like eventually to get the newer model, and they don't do it anymore. So I do look out for them on the pre-loved market, but in brand new condition. Like it's starting to wear a little bit around there. But these are so practical and simple, and that's what I love Louis Vuitton for, just their canvas kind of basics. So onto the Chanels. My largest Chanel is the Deauville Tote. I have the design from a couple of years ago. It has the T-bars there, so you can actually remove the chain, which I would never want to do, and sometimes they do come out like that, so you just have to be careful. But I really recommend this. It was like really out of character for me to buy. You'll see I play it very safe with my collection, but I just really was drawn to this and I'm really glad I have it. I would never part with it. I get more messages about people wanting to buy this than anything else in my collection, because they do keep coming out, but they come out in different versions. It's a seasonal piece, but I absolutely love it, and I use it just as a handbag. I don't use it as a travel bag like I would with the Neverfull, because I feel like, you know, it was twice the price. It's fabric, it's not coated. I don't know if they have, there's very little information sometimes on the materials when you buy a Chanel piece. I don't know if this has been like Scotch guarded. I haven't sprayed it because it's denim or cotton and I don't know how it would react to like water stop spray or anything, so I'm just careful. I'm careful where I place it down because I don't want the corners to fray. But you'll see I've worn this bag more than 30 times and I have no wear on the corners, and I just think it really suits my casual style. I love that, and I'm so glad I got the navy and white classic one, because some of them now are getting a bit, you know, you can get pink ones, you can get sparkly ones. It's just not, to me, that style is a clean kind of very casual style. So my next tote, my only other tote kind of thing from Chanel is my GST. And this one I got for my 40th birthday from my husband. I went and chose it. And I'm really glad I got this because a couple of years ago they discontinued it and you can't get them new anymore. I think this is a great, very practical bag. I really enjoy carrying it. I mainly carry it on the crook of the arm or in my hand. Again, like some of the other ones I've showed you, I feel like sometimes some totes sit high and then they're like bulky, and that I don't want to squash the bag down with my arm. So I only do that when I'm like getting, you know, out of the car, or I push it up and back like that and I'm getting in and out of the car with the kids or whatever. But on the whole, I just carry it in my hand, and I love the organisation that you have, the two sides and the central divider. It's really practical. There are still some of these around in pretty good condition on the pre-loved market, but obviously it's a couple of years at least since they made it now. So if you want one, I would get on the hunt pretty quick, and they vary a lot in price and condition, but you will pay about $2,000 for one in decent condition. But I think it's so classic and almost is starting to look like a kind of 90s-esque vintagey Chanel, just because they don't do a tote as classic and square like the classic flaps like this anymore. They're all kind of more never fully, and I just love this. I use it loads, especially now when I need to carry a bit more stuff. Okay, and now we're going to look at my three classics. I have it's like the three bears. I have a big one, a medium one, and a little one. So this is my jumbo, and it's in the black caviar with silver hardware. I love this bag. Yes, it's heavy, but I find I just don't overfill it. I kind of pack it as if it's a smaller bag and have space in there, otherwise it is kind of heavy. But I feel like the double straps are very thick and they support the bag, and especially in autumn and winter when you have jackets on, the weight doesn't really bother me. In summer, if I was wearing a strappy dress, yes, this might dig a little bit, but it just sits at the perfect height and it's just comfortable for me on the double straps. I do wear it crossbody occasionally if I'm carrying a suitcase or I need my hands free, but it is quite bulky and boxy for that. But I just think the proportions of it, it's so sturdy. There's no wear and tear on mine, and I've had it for nearly 3 years. It's a great investment, and I recommend this to anyone. If you're very petite, then you might find it too heavy and bulky, but I just think it's an absolute classic. I love it. Very squeaky leather chain on that one. And the next size down I have is the reissue style, or the 255, and mine is in the 226 size. We kind of call it here on YouTube, but Chanel would refer this now as the medium, and it's in between the size of the jumbo and the medium classic flap. This is in like a distressed calf with the wrinkling. I have the shoes to match, and it has ruthenium on this lovely chain, which has all this nice detail. It's very gothic and kind of Victorian, almost, this chain reminds me of. It's very soft, it's very, very light compared to that jumbo. It's not particularly structured, which some people, that's why they don't enjoy it. The top of the bag really peaks, so I've really stuffed mine. You'll see it's stuffed with a pillow, but when it's not, you can kind of really push the sides and flatten it out like that. I quite like it like that, but mine naturally wants to be flat on the bottom. I just love this bag. It's just got a more relaxed, laid back feel, and again, the height of the chain is really comfortable. I tend to wear this one kind of long on the shoulder like that, or sometimes I wear it crossbody, but it does come a little bit shorter on me, but I quite like it, especially if I push it round to the back. I just love it. And I'm glad I got that size. It really perfectly plugs that gap between the jumbo and this one. But this is my favourite Chanel bag. This is my medium classic flap, this time in caviar with gold hardware. And this strap length wasn't really working for me. If I double it up, it's right up in my armpit. If I do it single, I felt like it fell off. I've got very rounded shoulders and bags tend to fall down like that. So what I've actually done is, actually my friend got me a thing to do this for my birthday and I can't find it anywhere. But I've just put a little chain thing there and cinched it in, and that way I have a little top handle that doesn't budge like the Pochette Métis, or I can sling it on my shoulder. And I have to say, since I did that, I wear this bag so much more. It's my prettiest bag, I think, of everything in my collection. I ummed and ahed for so long because I knew if I bought this it wouldn't be something that I just throw on to go to the supermarket, and I was worried about could I justify it. But once you've paid the money and you've started to get your cost per wears out of a bag, for me that anxiety is diminished. And I know a lot of people would say, well, it's easy for you, it's not your money, your husband earned the money or whatever. But for me, I will still have this bag when I'm an old lady, hopefully, and can pass it on. And it's just so, the proportions of it is just so light, it's so pretty. Yes, it doesn't hold much, but I found since I have started really downsizing my SLGs to card holders and things, I can get everything that I need in here. Probably wouldn't take this, well, I might, I'll say on a long day out, like to London or something, because I might want a few more items, but I can fit my Kindle in here. I mean, I can fit what I need in here. It's just maybe people who have to go and work in an office and need to take lots of things with them would be better off with a larger size bag. But it's just so, look at it, it's just the classic Chanel bag. I love it. And now the rest of my Chanel collection are things that are technically SLGs, but I use them as bags. So I have two wallet on chains, and no surprise, they're black caviar. I do have some regrets about these. So just like with the jumbo, lots of different woks have passed in and out of my collection. The first one I got was the boy in lamb. So it looked like this, but it was lamb. And instead of this ruthenium hardware, it had gunmetal hardware. So a dark hardware, but highly shined, not antiqued. And I absolutely love that kind of hardware. And I freaked out. I got one little scratch on it, or a little bit of a scuff on the corner. And I just felt like this, the front and the back of this bag feel like a bag, but the side and the base are very thin leather. And with the lamb, you feel that even more. And I felt like I could see keys and things poking out. And I just thought, oh, I can't wear this regularly because I have to baby it. And I wanted a wok to wear crossbody casually. I sold that and I ended up getting this one. And I love this one. But it took me a long time to find this, because now the boy woks come down to here and they just don't look as classic. So this is matte caviar, and I got this from Designer Wish Bags, who has she's got a consignment shop somewhere in mainland Europe, and a friend of mine found it, and I jumped on it, and I had to pay over retail, but I don't care, it's my favorite thing ever. And this and the medium large together are probably my favorite Chanel's, actually. I noticed the tiniest bit of rubbing beginning here, so I picked up a second wok just to reduce the wear and tear on that one, because it is like a unicorn bag, whereas this is a permanent thing that you can replace. So this is just the classic wallet on a chain with gold hardware, because I didn't have much with gold hardware, you know, most of it's silver and ruthenium, and they are slightly different. You can see the shine on this caviar compared to and the quilts are a bit more puffy, and this one's matte, which goes with the edgy style. And this one also has the pocket on the back. I get loads of use out of these. I think a lot of people are either wok or mini fans. I've tried the mini on. I prefer the slightly longer chain on this, and I think it's more versatile with the layout inside and everything. And for me, this represents better value, hence why I have two. And before I get comments, yes, all of my leather Chanel bags are black. It's not been something that I consciously set out to do. It's just been that when I've wanted to add another one, I've just felt like it looks the most classic and timeless in black. I once saw a medium lambskin red classic flap at an event at my daughter's school, and it just looked really tired, and the stitching and everything. I don't know, there was just something about it and I thought that's really nice, if only it was black. So I just kind of stick to what I like, and I want these to last a long time and for the wear on them not to show. So with other bags at a slightly lower price point, I will be a bit braver with colour, but with these I've just stuck to black. And then my final Chanel piece is this medium O case in smooth calfskin leather. So it's the same leather as the reissue, but this has just had different treatment so that it's got more of a shine on it, and it's got like a limited edition kind of serrated hardware. But it's not really a turn lock, it's just a sign. And it has the burgundy interior, and I use this surprisingly a lot. I think it's okay to have a few pieces that are for occasional or special use, and this wasn't as expensive as a full-on bag because it's technically an SLG. I think it was about £600, which seems a lot, but again, I've had it for a few years now, and I reckon I use this like every other month or every 3 months. I'll use it once, and I'm happy with that because it's nice to have it when I want to use a clutch, and I like the simplicity of it. And I can wear this fairly casually. I've worn this with a chunky jumper to go to the movies and just tucked it under my arm. And I've also worn it to more dressy occasions. So I think it's worth it. It's soft, it's beautifully made, and I really enjoy. So that is my Chanel and Louis Vuitton collection. I'm just going to take a quick break and do some organising, and I'll be back with the next bit, which is Gucci, Mulberry, YSL, Balenciaga. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the more affordable things now, and then we'll go back onto different designers to round out the video. So this is just a bit of fun. This is one of these little jelly Biaggi Designs bags. I just saw these so much on Instagram and I got carried away, and I decided to get the clear one because I thought it was the most versatile. The strap's too short. The measurements on the site are not right for the strap length, so it isn't really a crossbody, even though it's a tiny little bag. So I just ordered from Mauto a really good quality lilac leather strap, and I've added a little largerie pompon, and it looks like a little mini Kelly, and it has made me a little bit obsessed with getting a real Kelly, but that'll never happen. But it's just fun. I wouldn't really use it as a city bag or as a fashion bag. It is a sort of bit of fun for days out in the summer and stuff when you don't really mind what happens to your bag. But I do like it the way I've styled it with my favourite colour, kind of lilac-y purple. I do sometimes have it hanging on a hook because it is cute, but I don't really wear it very much. And then next we have my tote. I've got two totes, real leather totes from different brands. So this one is from Stella & Dot, and you can't get Stella & Dot jewellery and accessories in Europe anymore. They pulled out of Europe and they're only in the States, and they don't do shipping. So I'm glad I kept hold of this. I love cobalt blue. It's a very floppy, slouchy tote, but it is worn really well. The corners are still in good nick, and this bright blue I do enjoy in the summer. This isn't really a bag that I wear that much here. I've got this little Etsy thing on it, but I do pack this in suitcases as a holiday bag, and it doesn't take much space to store here, and that's why I've hung on to it. I also have a Le Pliage from Longchamp, but I can't find it. It's somewhere in a closet downstairs, but we all know what they are. They are a nylon-y kind of cloth fold-up tote with leather trim. So classic. I got mine in khaki. I used to have it in black and it kind of wore out, and I replaced it with a khaki one. So great. And I also have a bag, a crossbody bag that I use as a sort of nappy kids bag, but again, that's in my daughter's room and I forgot to get it. So they are excellent quality for the price point, so I haven't got them here to show, but they are great. This is my tote from Hill & Friends. This is the Happy Tote. Emma Hill, is it Emma Hill, I think? Her she was the creative director at Mulberry when the Bayswater came out, the Alexa, the bags that kind of launched Mulberry from being a heritage brand into a fashion brand some years ago, and I really like her design and stuff, and she left the company and went her own direction, and I have two pieces in this range. I have this pouch, which is a bit like the O case, and it has a really big tassel on it and really nice hardware. They're beautiful quality, quite an affordable kind of price point. They're just unlined like raw suede on the inside, but again, I use this as a fun clutch, or I use it as an organizer inside this bag. And again, it's very simple. There are no internal pockets or anything. My friend Sally had this and I was like, oh my God, I love that particular very kind of cranberry shade. It's not as dark as burgundy. And hers has the face in a darker burgundy. And they've now changed the stitching to neon pink, and it is just a bit of fun. And as you see, I've said I play it quite safe with my collection. And so sometimes when it's a slightly more affordable price point, that is when I have fun with it, and I don't mind kind of getting something a bit more bold or crazy. And I actually got a ton of use out of this last winter. It's really comfortable compared to my Neverfull MM on the shoulder, and I think I'm talking myself out of that Neverfull MM, I don't know. But I just really love it. It's very slouchy. Again, it's got a pillow in it right now. But I do sometimes put my small organizer in here that I got for the DeVille to give this a bit more shape if I've only got a couple of things in it and they're floating around. I honestly use this a lot in winter. It's a cheerful bag, and that's maybe why they call it the Happy Tote. Okay, my Longchamp backpack, my only backpack. It's just over there, I recently bought an MCM X Mini because that's seen as like a dupe for the Palm Springs Mini. But unfortunately, I think it's counterfeit, and even if it's not a very good example. The top is kind of dented in and it smells of cigarettes. The lady said it was brand new, as in just bought, but actually if you look at the details on the card, if it's genuine, it's over 2 years old, and I am sending it back. We're having a bit of a thing because she doesn't want to accept my return. Anyway, I am going to get another MCM backpack, but I'm going to get the next size or two up. I just wanted like a gym bag that is a backpack, but my kind of more classic, not sporty backpack is this leather one from Longchamp. It's what I would describe as a medium-sized backpack. It's not huge. It's got gunmetal hardware that I love. It's got a buckle, which is why I want just a zip top sporty one, because these are a bit of a faff. It's got that, and then a drawstring opening, and the lovely classic gold fabric lining. And when the Urban Spirit backpack came out from Chanel and everyone was back into backpacks, I just sometimes know my own mind that like I don't really love the thing, but I love the general style, and that is when I think it's a good idea to go for a dupe, but I still wanted it to be something long term, real leather, and this was about 400, I think, and it's really, really good quality. I had extra holes punched in. I quite like wearing a backpack on quite a short strap just on one side like that, and it is a great casual bag, great for travel. Okay, next kind of slightly more affordable bag is this one from Aspinal. I also have had and really enjoyed the Lottie design, which is kind of similar to, you know, a classic flap type looking bag, but I had black and gold in the really mini one and in the small, and I wasn't using them just because I favoured my Wox and my medium classic flap. So I think that's something that I would consider in the future in a different colour. Again, because they are much cheaper, they're around £400 in the UK, I would go with a light beige, I would go with a burgundy, I would go with a metallic, because at that price point, they're really, really well made. I mean, I think they're better made than the Mulberries now, but you're not spending so much, so you could be a bit braver and maybe go for that bright pink bag or that red bag, and not worry as much about wear and tear or going off it because you haven't invested so much in it. But this I saw, I can't remember the name of this style, but I think in the last couple of years, this kind of saddle shape's been really in, and I love natural kind of tan leathers. So this one has got the same little flick lock as the Lottie bag, but it's just quite simple with one zipper. It doesn't hold much. In here I put my phone, my card holder, a lip balm and my keys, and that is about it. But I love this with kind of slightly boho outfits, white and blue flowy dresses and stuff like that in summer. It's got a little pocket on the back which I'll often put my debit card in for ease, and it's got a long leather strap. It had a metal strap that I didn't really like, with like a T-bar thing here, and I got Aspinal to, because some of these come with this strap, some come with the chain, and they made me this strap for £30 and shipped it to me, and it's beautiful quality and it's much longer, and the customer service from Aspinal is just outstanding. Okay, and my last kind of affordable-ish bag is this, and I've grown, I wasn't sure about it at first because it's so rigid, but I have grown to adore this bag for autumn winter. It is in classic kind of dark bottle green, and it is from the Cambridge Satchel Company, handmade here in Britain, and this is the kind of magnetic classic satchel. I think this is the 10 or 12 inch, and I've had this one kind of heat stamped with my initials and a heart in black because I wasn't sure if I really loved the whole thing of personalization, and from a distance you can't really see it. If I'd gone for the silver it would have been quite bold, but these are great. You don't have to do these buckles because it's just on a really strong magnets, and it's just one open space inside. There are no pockets, but I use this loads, and again I went for a colour because I wasn't investing so much. This was about £100, and I think for a sturdy leather bag that you would get loads of use out of, this is great for, they do all different sizes and shapes, great for students and stuff, and it's just really classically English. I love it. Never part with that one. Okay, and on to my final kind of designer ones. I'll share my newest bag last. My Mulberries, I have two in my two favourite classic leather colours that they make. I have this, which is the small, or no, they changed them now. There's a really small one. This is now called the medium Anthony. And this is a bag that they've had in their collection for years, and they've modernised it now since Johnny Coco has like taken over the brand. This kind of like seatbelt kind of cotton strap goes really long, and you have the postman's lock here, one pocket on the front. Now I do put my phone in there. The phone is bigger than the pocket, but it doesn't come up to here, so you can close the bag with your phone there, which is kind of handy. And it's like a northwest design, so it's obviously a lot longer than it is wide, which I find a little bit annoying, but I just wanted something in this lovely oak colour. And again, it's just one compartment down in there, and I don't really wear this as a fashion-y thing because it's not really my aesthetic. I just had a moment where I was like really wanted one of these. I will say that I wish I had gotten one from the old design, when it was the old style vegetable leather that kind of just gets beat up and looks better and better when it gets marks on it and it distresses and stuff, because I think now, especially the hardware, they're using this shiny gold hardware that's coated instead of the old lovely brass locks that they used to do, which just got buffed and scratched but didn't look wrecked. Now their hardware, even if it's the champagne gold or the gold, not so much the silver, it wears really quickly. And this I've only had for 6 months or something, and already I can see a tiny bit of like tarnishing. It's turning silver, but it's a very heritage style. I would wear this out with like welly boots, thick tights, and a kind of autumny tea dress, something like this, for that kind of English kind of non-fashiony heritage look. I wouldn't really wear it with a t-shirt like this and jeans and boots or whatever, but it is practical for travel, day trips, that kind of thing. But I don't really think this particular one is beautifully made whatsoever. And then one of my favorite bags in my collection, this message keeps appearing on the screen. One of my favorite bags in my collection is my mini zipped Bayswater. So this is the mini size, but it's not mini, it's kind of about the same size as the Celine mini, is it mini luggage, or I can't remember, but it's the same sort of size as that one. No, the Nano, that's it. It's the same size as the Celine Nano. But I just love this. I love this size, you know, like I said, with the Speedy 25, similar kind of size. This has got a nice long crossbody strap. You don't have to deal with a flap like the old Bayswater. You can have this done up. I just like it, looks quite relaxed, open. This one's holding up better than that Anthony, but this is a slightly higher price point. And then it's just got a zip at the top. It's really spacious. You can fit loads in there. I think this is just my favourite design that Mulberry does. I would get another colour in this. I've even thought about giving away that Anthony and getting this design in the oak, because this is such a dark burgundy. This is called Oxblood, that I wouldn't really wear this. I would wear it from about now, like September round to Easter, but I wouldn't wear it in the warmer months because I just don't, it doesn't really fit with my colour palette. But I just love it. Like the handles are big enough to wear it in the crook of your arm, but the next size up, which is the small, is not small. It's like as big as a Speedy 30, and it looks quite worky and officey. And if you don't have that lifestyle and you're just wearing casual clothes, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good as this cute kind of style. Yeah, I really enjoy this, and I get a lot of wear out of it. It is pebbled leather, it's durable, indestructible. It doesn't seem like it doesn't need to be stuffed. It's not going to lose its shape. It's fab. Okay, Gucci. I have two Gucci bags, very similar in design. They are both kind of the camera bag design. This one is the Soho. I had it in navy, and then I got the DeVille, and I'm weird like that. I thought I don't really need two navy bags. Black is easier to work into my kind of colour palette, whatever. So I ended up selling that to get the, what is this beige called? I don't know. And the light now has changed. It's a bit brighter, so we probably don't need the ring light so much. Whoop. It's like a really creamy caramelly colour. It's gorgeous. And it goes with loads. I will probably wear this more in spring and summer because I'm worried about colour transfer, but I have sprayed it with water stop, and so far so good. This bag, you really need to look after it if you want to maintain the shape. So when I'm not using it, I stuff it, and when I am using it, I try not to like put my arm there and squish it too much, because the top can really stove in. But it's just so soft and comfortable, and it holds a lot. And I think now this is such a classic, even though they've kind of gone from using this style GG logo onto other things. I just think it is so classic, and I don't know what else to say really. It holds a ton, and it's really chic and comfortable, and yeah, I'm glad I've got that one. I love it. I don't think that'll ever go out of style. And then this one, I got this because I really enjoyed that one, but I wanted something from the Marmont line, but because I've got loads of flat bags from Chanel, I didn't want to get the kind of flat bag that they do, and I wanted a really easy crossbody black bag because I didn't have anything that was a crossbody bag in black, despite all my black bags, apart from like a wallet on a chain. And this just holds more. I really love this chevron thing. It really works with this Gucci line. I prefer the heart on the back, but I don't mind these GGs. I like the way you get some antiqued chain, but most of the strap is leather. It's long enough. I bought this first in velvet, and it just didn't have it didn't feel like the same quality as this, and it was the same price. So I sent it back and exchanged it for the leather. And the inside is this lovely like blush micro suede. I think it's a really good bag for the price point. It's weird, a lot of people that I knew on social media that had this bag have since sold it. I just don't get it. I feel like out of the two, this can look a bit more dressy because of all the gold on it. This one is super casual. This seems to be really holding up really well, even though it's a very smooth leather, and the hardware and everything on it, it just looks brand new. And despite being like a camera bag style kind of casual, I would wear this out in the evening. I would maybe shorten the strap and just wear it straight down on my shoulder, not crossbody. And it's just really fun and a really good price point for a Gucci leather bag. I love both of those. They're quite similar, but I love Gucci as a brand. I've got belts and other things, loads of footwear, but I just feel with the bags, that is just such a practical, functional shape. I've got a lighter one, I've got a black one. I can't see me going into hand carry bags and other styles with Gucci. I'm just kind of happy with the two that I've got. Okay, nearly there. We have two bags from Saint Laurent or YSL. I mean, they're no longer Yves Saint Laurent, but they are still using the YSL on footwear and bags and stuff. So this I got first. This is one of my favorite bags, and I have to thank Stella Naturare, my friend, because I was talking to her about getting a grab bag, and none of the grab bags around or top handle bags around at that time just were calling to me, and she had the larger, the medium, which is more of a tote size, in like a beige colour and the black, I think. And she said, I said I want a smaller size, and I was looking at things like the Coco handle, like the Sac de Jour, but none of them were just quite right. I wanted it really classic, and I was even looking at the Dior Reva, and there were just things about all those bags that put me off. And then when I found this, which I think is called the Reef Gauche Bag, I'm not sure, it's discontinued now. When I actually found this bag and started researching on it, I fell in love with it. It's got side poppers, so it's got this cinched in at the top and then it goes out. It's got feet, it's got a crossbody strap. It's very simple and pared down. Hardly anyone that I've seen on YouTube or anything has it, which is a bonus for me because I like it. If my things are a little bit more unusual, a lot of my collection are very kind of commonly seen items. It's got this lovely clochette with the YSL in silver and just the brand, just Saint Laurent Paris embossed there. I love the handles. It's got a top zip, and you can make it look more relaxed by opening up these side pockets, and then it's just a little bit wider. And if you need to, you can, it's got an internal pocket, you can put the strap on and wear it crossbody, and it makes it look a little bit more casual, but it looks really smart and dressy. Celine Dion has a couple of these, and I've seen her in you know, papped with, and I love her. So that even more gave me a nudge. Oh, I want to get it. I love it. It has a pocket on the back, a slip pocket with a magnet, which you can put your phone in, which is like a massive bonus. Both of my Saint Laurent bags have that, and I love this bag, and I will never part with this. I'm so glad I got it right before it went. Like when I went to look for this in London, there were different versions. Sometimes the pocket's on the front, which ruins it. I like the clean design of the front. I got one with the pocket on the back. There were lots of them towards the end of this bag with like snake skin, like, or croc, or very shiny. And I went to several locations in London and found one in Selfridges, and I'm really glad I got this. It was a really good price point as well. My other Saint Laurent bag I got this year, and that is the Collège bag in the medium size. This is now my only grey bag. That's why I'm looking for the MCM backpack in grey, because I had two grey bags. I had the Balenciaga in the classic big medium size, but again, I wasn't finding that working for me with the short strap and stuff. So this is now my only grey bag. I love grey, it's one of my favourite colours. This is a great little bag. I was worried, it's got a pocket in the back, it's got a lovely strap which is inside at the moment with a kind of ruthenium chain and a little bit of leather just at the top with Saint Laurent on it. It's casual, it's funky. I have got a little bit of wear, like where I've caught it there and the corners, but not much. But I wore this like for weeks and weeks straight when I first got it. I was worried it was a bit small. It is petite. It's about the same size as the medium large, I think. Similar. This is a bit longer, but this is taller. But it's just the way the internal organisation is, I can fit everything that I need in there. It's got like a smaller bit at the back, a zipper thing, and then a big pocket at the front. It's often compared to the pochette métis. It doesn't hold as much as the pochette métis, but it's a great bag. I love chevron. I love the top handle that you can just grab a single handle, and then this chain. I wear it crossbody, I wear it long on the shoulder. I love it. Like it, if you're quite casual dresser, it's just perfect. It's a bit short on me crossbody, but I can make it work. And it's just comfy and a pleasure to carry and fun. It feels fun, and I really love this. I think the small one tends to keep its shape really well. They do a larger one, which I love as well. It's got a shorter strap, and the only way I would ever justify adding that is if I ever parted with my GST, I would possibly get rid of the GST and replace it with the large size in this, but I'm not sure about that. But I do really love the shape of the bigger one. It's more slouchy. And then finally, my final bag in my collection is my new baby. It still has the tags on, so I just haven't worn it yet. This makes my heart flutter. This is the small logo city bag from Balenciaga in the, is it light beige? this is the second one I ordered. The first one I ordered, it just wasn't a great piece. It wasn't faulty as such. It was just really slouchy, and this wrinkling in some places was really over the top, and the front, the leather felt really like stretched and baggy. Like it was just off, and I sent it back and did an exchange, and I thought if I don't feel it with this one, then I just won't have it. And I just loved it the minute I took it out of the box. This one has the logo strap, which is just a bit of fun. I haven't gone into the whole Fendi thing or the Dior thing with monogram all over, because I've got monogram bags from Louboutin. They'll be around forever, but the Dior kind of monogram and the Fendi, let's face it, in 5 years, everyone will have got rid of those bags. That's just my humble opinion. So I just wanted something that's got like a bit of a trendy logo on it, but it's just a strap and you can turn it around and wear it the other way. I just love this colour. You know, you've seen in my collection that apart from this one and my Azure Neverfull, all of my really high-end bags are dark colours because I play it safe. And I just thought, why not have one lighter colour? It's not cream. I mean, this is cream. Oh, this is my new Ralph Lauren sweater. This is cream. You can see it's slightly deeper. It's like a cool beige or a stone, but it will coordinate with cream. I love wearing cream in winter. And I got this size, A, because the strap's longer, but B, because I just, same as with the Mulberry, with the Reef Gauche bag, I just find that neck size down from like a medium, it makes a bag go from looking like a work bag to looking like a fun, cute, carefree bag. And I don't carry loads on the daily basis, especially now that my youngest has just last week started school. So I just find this more carefree, and the styles often look cuter when they're a bit smaller. There is a mini in this, but that's too small for me. And with all the details and everything, all of these and stuff you still get on the mini, it looks really busy. I do love it in silver, but I don't think I'll actually realistically add that. So I am literally over the moon with this. And that is my latest buy. And I really don't think there's much to come high-end wise. I wouldn't mind one day in the future having something from Dior or Hermes to celebrate like a milestone anniversary or birthday, but they're not the kind of things that would be everyday bags for me. I'm set for everyday bags, and I'm really grateful. I know I have a lot, and I am really grateful, and I really look after my things. It's my thing, my bags. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was really long, but I tried to do it all in one video. And yeah, that's all of my bags. If you have any questions about anything I've showed you, just leave them down below, and I'll get back to you either in a video if necessary, or just, you know, I'll just write you a response. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.